Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Massachusetts has some pretty draconian gun laws which have only gotten worse over the last few weeks, as I reported when I talked about the newest gun ban to hit the state. Massachusetts also doesn't recognize any outside gun permits and therefore definitely does not recognize the constitutional carry status of neighboring New Hampshire. That is how two New Hampshire men found themselves in legal hot water, and now their own state AG is joining their crusade against Massachusetts' carry laws. Now, this case got some attention about a year ago when a judge ruled in Lowell District Court of Massachusetts that, on its face, the charge of carrying a gun without a license is unconstitutional when applied to non-residents. Some folks celebrated it as a complete end to Massachusetts' gun permitting process, which was not at all the case and only applied to the two men in this case. And I will tell you why. The case involved Dean Donnell and Philip Marquis, who are residents of New Hampshire and were charged with carrying a firearm without a license in Massachusetts. We really haven't gotten very many details of this case, like the how or the why, released outside of the actual original court opinion, which was written by Judge Coffey, which basically said that requiring non-residents to obtain a resident gun permit was unconstitutional under Bruin and didn't have any historical analogs. He also said that the charges violated the men's rights to travel and equal protection under the law. Part of this was because while Massachusetts did issue non-resident licenses, they were only temporary licenses good for 1 year, while resident permits were good for 5. That may or may not have changed. I don't really pay attention to how long Massachusetts gun licenses are good for now that I don't live there anymore. That being said, the judge took no issue with the state's actual permitting process, which for non-residents still includes an interview with state police, mental health checks, a Massachusetts-approved safety course, a $100 fee, and can take 90 days or more to get. They say a maximum of 90 days, but in practice that is not what happens. Coffey's opinion document doesn't say what led up to the charges being filed because the judge says that those facts are not being debated. However, we do know from the Concord Monitor that both men were charged separately for possessing firearms and ammunition. Donnell was also charged with having a large capacity ammunition device and for operating a vehicle under the influence of alcohol. Now, the DUI is not part of this case. And I, by no means, am advocating for driving drunk, especially with a firearm. That's a big no-no. Now, Coffey dismissed the case for the gun charges based simply on the fact that no other right changes based on traveling across state lines. Of course, the prosecutors in Massachusetts didn't like that. But before I tell you about the fight that they're bringing and how New Hampshire got involved in defending these men, here is a word about today's sponsor, Vanish Holsters, the most comfortable holster you have ever worn, guaranteed. The #1 concealed carry mistake is not actually carrying because your holster is uncomfortable or spending tons of money on different holsters that you never use. I know because I have done it. That is where Vanish comes in because your gun won't help you if it's sitting at home. Now, this holster fits 99% of modern handguns, accommodates 2 spare magazines, minimizes printing, and has 2 different size options on their fully adjustable belt, making sure that every body can get the perfect fit, all while being so lightweight that you might even forget that you're wearing it. And if for some reason you decide that all of these features and adjustability isn't for you, they have a 60-day money-back guarantee, meaning you get to try Vanish holsters completely risk-free. Now, for a limited time is your chance to get a great bundle that includes 1 Vanish holster, plus a second holster half off, plus a free magmate with your purchase. The only catch is that this deal ends August 31st. So, to snag your deal, use my link down in the description and try Vanish holsters today. So, the Massachusetts prosecutors appealed this up to the state Supreme Judicial Court, which is where groups like the Second Amendment Foundation and even the NRA filed an amicus brief in support of Coffey's decision. Now, the Attorney General of New Hampshire, John Formella, has joined the fray, saying that he is jumping in to make sure that New Hampshire gun laws apply to residents even when they are outside state lines. By challenging Massachusetts' restrictive firearms laws, we are affirming that constitutional freedoms should not be undermined by inconsistent and overly burdensome regulations, Formella said in a statement. This is all about ensuring that responsible gun owners can protect themselves without fear of unjust legal consequences when they cross state borders. Don't we all wish that that was actually the case? Because travel between the two states is frequent, Vermella said, Granite Staters and other non-Massachusetts residents shouldn't face felony consequences for carrying a gun while visiting there. In his brief, he wrote, strict application of Massachusetts firearm statutes imposes on many New Hampshire citizens, particularly those living close to the border with Massachusetts, something of a Hobbesian choice. Lay down your right to armed self-defense upon entry into Massachusetts or face felony charges that carry harsh penalties and mandatory imprisonment. He also argues that there is no historical tradition of prosecuting out-of-state visitors under a state's firearm laws. New York City would probably beg to differ, but they, like California, have now been told that they have to issue non-resident permits, so they've been getting in trouble too. Of course, like Massachusetts, it still requires the state rigmarole, which in New York City includes an interview with the New York City police, and good luck. In the appeal filing, Massachusetts said that they have the authority to enforce whatever they want on whoever they want, and that they need not bow down to New Hampshire's policies. So things are getting a little spicy up north. We'll see what happens when court reconvenes on September 9th. But you know what? Honestly, I would love a state version of Celebrity Deathmatch. That would be hilarious. All right, folks, I will keep following this and bring you any updates as they come. You guys know the drill for the algorithm things. Like, share, and subscribe. If you are new here, ring that notification bell. Check your subscriptions. I hate that I have to say that now, but if y'all have been here for a while, then you know I get deleted off people's lists all the time. Drop your comments down below, and as always, thanks for tuning in, and happy shooting.